Welcome back to Motor Authority Philippines, where we dive into defense tech, strategy, and the future of our armed forces. Today, we're talking about something that's been making serious waves in the military aviation world: the AIM-120C-8 AMRAAM missile. If you're following the upgrades to the Philippine Air Force or just fascinated by next-gen weapons tech, this one's for you. So what exactly is the AIM-120C-8? This is the latest variant of the AMRAAM, which stands for Advanced Medium Range Air-to-Air Missile, and it's a huge step forward in air combat capability. The AMRAAM family of missiles has been around since the 1990s, and it's been battle-tested by countries all over the world. But the C-8? It's something else. This version is being dubbed by many defense analysts as the most powerful air-to-air missile in its class A, and that's no exaggeration. Let's start with the basics. The AIM-120C-8 is a radar-guided missile designed to take out enemy aircraft at beyond visual range. We're talking about more than 160 kilometers in maximum range. That means our pilots can lock on and destroy enemy aircraft before the enemy even sees them. It's a fire-and-forget missile, which means once it's launched, the pilot doesn't need to stay locked on to the target. The missile does the job on its own using advanced active radar guidance. Now, why does this matter for the Philippines? Well, our country has been ramping up its defense modernization efforts, especially with tensions rising in the West Philippine Sea. Acquiring or integrating weapons like the AIM-120C-8 gives our Air Force the edge it needs in modern air warfare. If our F-A-50PH fighter jets get upgraded to support these missiles, or if we go ahead with the acquisition of the F-16 or Gripen, the AMRAAM C-8 could be a game changer for our defensive posture. Let's talk about the upgrades from earlier versions. Compared to the older AIM-120C-5 or C-7 models, the C-8 version features improved guidance systems, better countermeasure resistance, and most importantly, extended range. It's also more compact internally, allowing it to be more versatile across different aircraft platforms. For example, it can fit inside the internal weapons bay of stealth fighters like the F-35, while still being compatible with older 40th generation aircraft. That's important, especially for countries like the Philippines that are operating a mix of aircraft from different generations. Another cool feature is its enhanced kinematic performance. That means it can fly faster, maneuver harder, and hit targets even if they're trying to dodge or jam the radar. The missile is designed to operate in highly contested environments. Think about areas where enemy jammers are trying to blind incoming threats. The AIM-120C-8 counters that with better processing power, software upgrades, and more powerful radar. It's like having a smart bullet that can outthink its target mid-flight. Now, imagine this kind of firepower in the hands of our pilots. If you're familiar with the F-A-50PH, our current frontline fighter, you know that it's a solid platform, but it's been lacking in true beyond visual range capabilities. If we could integrate the AIM-120C-8 or even previous AMRAAM variants into our rear wing, suddenly we're not just patrolling the skies, we're commanding them. It's not just about having a longer range missile. It's about deterrence. Knowing that the Philippine Air Force has this kind of weapon in its arsenal changes the calculations of any hostile actor. It forces them to think twice before sending aircraft into our airspace. It gives our Air Force the reach and punch it needs to operate effectively in a complex region surrounded by larger powers. Let's go into how the missile actually works. When a target is identified, the pilot uses the aircraft's radar to lock on. Once the missile is launched, it flies toward the target using inertial guidance, constantly updating its course using data fed from the launch aircraft. Then, once it's close enough, the missile activates its own radar and homes in autonomously. This gives the missile incredible flexibility. The pilot can turn away after launching, stay safe, and let the missile do its job. And here's another key point: these missiles are not just for air-to-air combat. Some variants of the AMRAAM have been modified for ground-based air defense systems. Think NASAMS are the same system used to protect Washington, D.C. and other major capitals. The Philippines is actually acquiring NASAMS as part of its air defense network. So the AMRAAM C-8 isn't just something we might see in fighter jets, but also potentially part of a layered air defense grid on the ground. That's double the coverage, double the deterrent. The geopolitics of this are just as important. Our partnerships with countries like the United States are what make it possible to acquire weapons like this. These missiles aren't sold to just anyone. They're part of a network of mutual defense cooperation, and the Philippines being a major non-NATO ally puts us in a unique position. These aren't just weapons, they're symbols of trust and strategic partnership. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: cost. The AIM-120C-8 is not cheap. Each missile can cost upwards of $1 million. But when you think about what's at stake, sovereignty, security, and the ability to respond to threats, it's a price worth paying. A single AMRAAM in the right hands can neutralize a multi-million-dollar enemy aircraft and protect hundreds of lives on the ground. There's also a future-proofing angle. These missiles are designed to receive software updates over time. That means they can be improved without having to physically replace them. As threats evolve, so will the missile's capabilities. It's a smart investment in long-term defense capability. Before we wrap up, let's just take a moment to appreciate how far we've come. A decade ago, the idea of the Philippines operating high-end missiles like the AMRAAM C-8 would have felt like a fantasy. But now? It's not just possible, it's on the horizon. As long as we stay committed to modernization, to working with our allies, and to strengthening our own defense industry, there's a real path toward a credible and modern air defense force. So that's the AIM-120C-8, a missile that could redefine air combat in the region and elevate the Philippine Air Force into a true 21st century fighting force. What do you think? Should we prioritize acquiring these missiles for the F/A-50PH, or should we wait until we bring in new platforms like the F-16 or Gripen? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update from Motor Authority Philippines. We've got more deep dives coming your way on the weapons, systems, and strategy shaping the defense of our nation. Maraming salamat sa panonood. See you in the next one. Stay informed, stay secure, and stay proud.